What lessons are you taking from this match?
I think it's that we just need to keep improving the stuff that we have been improving.
Is the team's confidence high?
It's super high, man. You have no clue how high it is right now.
What would you say are Carroll's aspirations for what this season's going to hold?
Oh, what else besides the championship, right?
We're following Bruv right now, and it's all. Oh my God! What a right click onto the Pharah. Oh!
It's three.
Huge anti on the core, be able to get that pick, but Lizard does go down in exchange. I think you're willing to take that trade, though.
Absolutely. Constant Rhyme is able to get two, thanks to the Corby and the Twisted Drew.
Three? Four? Wait, Constant Rhyme?
Lizard slides through the building and is able to res while still inside the building and brings back Benny Boy.
Mercy, and a huge anti. Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Speed is back to another all. He's gonna pop it. He already has 2 picks in this fight. He's going for a third, now a fourth.
Every single time there's that assist from Lizard. Oh my gosh, bro!
But, you know, we've already gone undefeated this year, so what's left? Let's make a run at the national championship.
Hosting.
Welcome back,
everybody. It's championship night. Carroll Overwatch. I'm Josh. Got with me Brady. We are wrapping up the season to cap off what has been an undefeated season for the Carroll College Overwatch team. Brady, how hyped are you tonight?
I am over the moon. I can't believe Carroll College. I mean, you know, after being an esports team for maybe 3 or 4 years now, we're in like our 4th season, is now playing in the championship match of the PlayFly eSports tournament. It's kind of crazy to see Carroll have this much progress. I mean, we saw them start off super strong at the beginning of the year, but see them now playing against Western Michigan, who is also undefeated this season. They were in a different bracket. So to see them playing another undefeated team is actually just super exciting for me, somebody who used to be on the team, and I can't wait to see what Carroll brings out tonight.
So for those who are tuning in for the first time, maybe haven't been following quite the narrative as much or the storyline, Carroll's division is divided into 2 different kind of conferences, much like a lot of other professional or sporting leagues. Those 2 conferences compete within each other during the regular season. And so Carroll competed against 8 other teams during the regular season, of which they didn't lose any matches. Western Michigan, on the opposite conference, competed against a different set of teams, also not losing. You have the best of the best going up against each other tonight. Carroll College looking to take down a perfect season and their first collegiate national championship.
Yeah, I was talking to Bruv, who's I think been one of the standout players this year. I mean, we've seen a lot of improvement from him, especially on his Sojourn gameplay before the game. And earlier today, he was saying he was pretty nervous, but he's been warming up basically all day. I think I've seen him on Overwatch for the past maybe 8 hours. And he's saying that he's feeling confident now. His shots are landing and team spirits are super high. I know they've been practicing a ton. Their last match was a week and a half ago, I believe. So they had a lot of time to practice, which I'm sure has been really nice for them. And I think they're really excited going into this match.
What are they looking for as being kind of the important keys in order to win tonight's game?
I think, something we've talked about all season is sort of the mental aspect of playing Overwatch, and that like losing first map can be really difficult. And we haven't really seen Carroll lose first map ever, I don't think, this season.
Not this season,
wood.
no.
Knock on wood. But I think just keeping the mental aspect up, especially now that they're playing in this championship match against another team that is 7-0 in the regular season and has gone 2-0 in these playoffs. I think just not getting too nervous at the start. And I think part of that, part of the nerves aspect is that then they have to make sure that they're not using super ults that are sort of out of line, right? Like not trying to clutch up fights because they think they need to, or using ults too early or anything like that. I think keeping a level head, keeping the nerves down so that the ultimate usage is effective and the communication stays effective is super important. Because Carroll has been super coordinated this entire season, right? Like the communication has been so good.
Yes.
I think tonight is just going to be, can they keep that communication up in a championship match?
So here's the question I have. We have discussed, and so far throughout the playoffs, Carroll has gotten the good fortune of having the highest seed, and as such has gotten their pick of map on map 1.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, I believe, is a coin flip. Is that correct?
That's what I've heard. That's what they're saying.
So tonight's going to be a coin flip. Let's say Carroll loses that coin toss.
Unlikely.
And unlikely. But let's hypothetically imagine that Carroll loses this coin toss. How worried are you if Carroll doesn't get to start out with Ilios as first map? Has that happened this season?
I was actually just about to ask you that. I feel like we've seen them not play on Ilios once, maybe.
That seems right to me.
I feel like last match they didn't start on Ilios. No, they must have, because they would have picked it.
No, they did.
Yeah.
It was middle of the season.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they still won that. Like, I don't think that the map necessarily matters so much. I think they like Ilios because they're comfortable with it. I think that would help to sort of mitigate the potential harms that I was talking about, of letting the nerves get to them. But I think that Carroll just needs to... I think what's going to be so important is no matter the map on that first map is going to be winning that first team fight, right? Whether it's Ilios, whether it's a different control point, I think it's just going to be whoever wins that first team fight is going to have so much more confidence going into the map, especially, right, because you're in this championship match. Carroll is not used to losing team fights because they're just that good, so I think that I could see that really messing with their mental. That being said, I think that whether it's Ilios or any other control map, I think Carroll will feel comfortable and confident. I think, things will get a little dicier maybe when we get to map 3, which is where we see the flashpoint maps, and I think that's where Carroll has struggled a little bit. So I think, if Carroll can get the confidence going before map 3, that's going to be really important for Carroll in the terms of like the longer duration, in terms of the duration of the whole match.
Yeah. Carroll definitely cannot go down 2 maps into Flashpoint. I think that becomes a big problem. What's the fourth? What game modes do we have after map 3?
I actually don't know what game modes we have after map 3. Like, we never see a map 3.
We have push. We have push in map 4.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, we really don't. I think it's push in map 4. What would map 5 be?
Would it be a...
Probably control again.
Yeah, maybe controller, maybe just a normal payload, not like an escort, where you have to capture a point, and then maybe it just be like Dorado or something, you know what I mean?
I think the point, possibly, but I think the point of reason, and the reason they don't do hybrids for final map is because it prevents ties.
That's true.
Because if you go to a game 5, it doesn't allow for a tie with control, right? Control, someone has to win. So control is traditionally, and I don't know about the collegiate scene, but traditionally in competitive Overwatch, control is the 5th map, so there is no ties. Here's the thing. I think if Carroll goes, let's picture worst likely scenario, right? Like I don't want to doom and just be like, oh, Carroll gets 0-3'd. So let's think about it. Let's say map 1, Carroll doesn't get Ilios. Carroll gets beat. You go to map 2. Carroll wins King's Row. Go to Flashpoint map 3, Carroll loses. Then at that point, Carroll wins map 4. If Carroll wins map 4, then we probably get to go Ilios. And so I really think that it just comes down to Carroll needs to win. Like, map 1 is important. I think map 2 is going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, I looked it up. I have it in my DMs with Bruv, and it is actually the last map is Escort. So that would be interesting if we do get to a map 5, right? Because, I mean, you can't. It's hard to tie on Escort, but it is possible. That being said, it would be pretty exciting to see some push and some Escort because we haven't really seen Carroll kind of deal with that.
You mean because nobody even unlocks the cart on King's Row against Carroll?
Right, because we never get to a map 4 or 5. I mean, in this championship match, I think we're expecting it to be some tougher competition. Like we said, you know, Western Michigan is a really strong team. They're 7-0, and then they've won both of their games. They played the Larks last week, which we saw Carroll played, and both teams seemed to struggle a little bit, but both teams came out victorious over the Larks. So I think this should be a pretty exciting match. What do you think is going to be the key to Carroll's success tonight?
Oh man, it's here it is. I'm gonna go real simple, real easy. If Bruv hits his shots, Carroll wins.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
With the perks for Sojourn, if Bruv hits shots, Carroll wins. That's it.
Yeah. I think that'll be it. And I think, you know, too, there's a strong DPS player on the other side is what I've heard. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Bruv kind of goes into that. We saw that happen with the Larks previously. And yeah, it looks like Carroll actually just lost the coin flip. So we're probably gonna be getting into map 1 here pretty soon.
It's the only coin flip Carroll's lost all season, and they are not the ones that flipped the coin.
Yeah, Western Michigan flipped the coin today, and Western Michigan apparently won. So, you know.
Did they win though? Because they just chose Ilios.
They did choose Ilios. I guess we won't see that much diversity in map pool tonight.
Did Western we cast and stream every one of Carroll's games. Yeah. Carroll has started every game at Ilios. You would think you'd go, hey, let's just really, really practice a specific map that we can take Carroll to that isn't Ilios. That's what you think. That's what you think.
Yeah. Well, we only have 3 minutes until the map starts, so I'm going to start up the player montage really quick so everybody at home can make sure they know who's playing for Carroll tonight, and then we'll be back right after that montage.
Lizard number 29, I am a freshman from Victor, Montana. I am a support player, I play Mercy, and I've been here for 2 seasons.
Hey, I'm Benny Boy. My number's 32. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Mahomet, Illinois. I'm a support main, and my favorite character is Anna. I've been on the team for 2 seasons.
Bruv, number 00. I'm a junior from Rigby, Idaho. I main BTS, play Sojourn, and this is my 6th season with the team.
I'm Prime number 14. I'm a senior. I come from Normandy in France. I main DPS, Cassidy, and Thorpe, and that's my 2nd season.
Hey, this is Mr. Spee. I'm a senior. I'm from Corona, California. I currently make tank for the team. Currently play Dragon Queen, Sigma, Ram, any tank you can think of. And I've been playing on the team for about 8 seasons now.
Listen, Brady, that montage I think is just such an accurate and great reflection. A big congratulations, regardless of what happens tonight, to all the Carroll players. Mr. Spee, senior, his last year on Carroll's Overwatch team. You know, I know we don't have an official senior night for this kind of event. But I mean, this is it, right? This is Mr. Spee's last game in competitive Overwatch. Yeah. And so definitely wish him a best of luck in all of its endeavors. And he's just got to be so proud of what Carroll's Overwatch team has grown into, being as their captain and being a part of it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's been on the team for 4 years, so it'd be really nice to bring him home a championship tonight. I mean, that's kind of what I feel like Carroll's fighting for. It's Spee's sort of the end of his senior year. It'll be nice to bring that in. Also, I do want to give a shout out to Constant Rhyme, who is also a senior and will be graduating. So I hope Constant Rhyme's also able to bring home a W. But Mr. Spee has just been such an integral part of this team for so long. I remember he came on his freshman year, and I was a junior at the time, and he became our tank player, and he was just such a solid player who knew so much about the game that he really elevated the overall experience of the team and the overall like capabilities of the team. And I think that's really shown off now that he's taken over as sort of a more and more as a captain and really fostered the team connections.
Yeah. Gonna be good. Gonna be a great game. And Brady, we're loading in. We're loading in. Here we go.
Ready for our first game. It's Ilios. It's well. I mean, we see this every week.
Yup, we do.
I want to see some Roadhog gameplay today. That's what I want to see. I want some excitement in this finals match. Let's see. We got
no Roadhog.
No Roadhog. We do have Carroll rolling out on their standard comp though. Looks like.
It ain't broke.
Yeah. I mean, it's won them literally every time. So like.
It has. Here's lineup over on Michigan. You have the Ramatra, the Cassidy, the Genji, the Kiri, and the Juno. How do you like the matchup, Brady?
I feel pretty good about that matchup. I feel like the Ramatra's gonna have a hard time with the Junker Queen. I am interested to see how good this Genji is, though. I think the Genji into the Sojourn could create some problems.
Yeah. It's I'm a little nervous because oh man, Benny Boy's starting off hot. I'm a little. Mr. Spee's a little bit kind of like off, and like everyone else is getting pushed. I mean, it's all right. We're all right. We're all right. We're slow rolling. And here we go. But Michigan's playing really well as a unit right now.
Yeah.
Carroll's definitely having to and just kind of trying to poke and break it down.
Oh, Brooke goes down first, but that's a big ante. Able to. Oh.
Yeah, Benny Boy. I don't think it's quite done yet. If you can get the Kiri down here, Brub goes up. Brub gets brought back up. Down goes the Kiri.
This is scrappy.
It is a 3v3 right now. It is a scrappy fight. Carroll. Oh man, it's too bad that Michigan's able to cap there.
Yeah.
But because it's not until the end, like Carroll's gonna be back probably before 20%. Before, and we're gonna be able to engage. Oh man, Cassidy just about got pulled in by great knife from Mr. Speed.
Yeah, Mr. Speed's tank gameplay has been super nice right now. The Genji is getting a lot of value, I will say.
Yeah.
But I think that they're not quite used to the Genji as much, so I think they're gonna have to do some quick adjustments to figure that out.
Yeah, Constant Rhyme has not had a lot of pressure from Dive at all this season, and it's really going to be on him to make sure that the team is well protected. The Ramatra's definitely out of position. They should be able to punish him. Yeah, Ramatra goes down. Big knife there, or blade axe from Junker Queen. All the blades, you know.
All of them.
Couldn't get which one right.
And Bruv takes a little off angle there, which is super important because he's able to get a bunch of damage onto Aegis, the opposing Ramatra, and then slide in and finish off. I don't know how to say that name. The Genji on the opposing team, which I think is just two really good pressure points that Carroll needs to keep exploiting because those seem like really strong players in the opposing team.
There is no Ana on the opposing team, and so this Dragon Blade is going to be without the nano. Mr. Speed gets nanoed here. Brub is getting pressure a little bit from the left, and Brub now has his ultimate if he wants to. Oh. A Deadeye thanks to the sleep. That's largely a sleep thanks to Benny Boy that they're able to get the Ramatra using the Deadeye. They don't have to commit Brub's ultimate, and Carroll's now going to get to 50% at least.
Yeah, and one other really great thing there is that Mr. Speed is able to keep Rampage as well. He's frontlining against 3 opponents from Northwestern Michigan, but he's not able. He doesn't use his ult. He's able to use it, but like he saves it for the next fight, which I think is so crucial because all we have to use then is Deadeye and Nano to win that fight.
Right. I mean, and that was largely thanks to the sleep. Brub's ult comes out here. This is what we talked about watching. Brub's got to hit some shots here and get some picks.
Oh. Really big Rampage
though. Get the res. Yeah, huge Rampage. Huge Rampage by Speed.
Yeah, he is tearing up this lobby right now.
Oh man, too bad Bruv's not able to get the stagger onto the Juno. Mr. Spee's carrying because this year Bruv has been able to alleviate a lot of pressure on Mr. Spee because of just how excellent his shots have been. The Genji is minimizing Bruv's effectiveness right now, and Mr. Spee is picking up the slack.
But that being said, I mean, everyone on Carroll is playing so great. Like, that is just a bunch of great reses from Lizard. That res in the first fight was absolutely insane. And we have the Nano Blade, not even a Nano Blade, just a blade coming out.
There we go. You've also got the Juno Ray coming in. Mr. Spee is still up. Lizard's putting in work. I cannot believe that Spee stayed alive.
The backline from Carroll's going crazy. We just had a huge sleep under the Genji, and then that Valkyrie keeps everyone alive while Benny Boy's able to basically deal with the Genji in the backline, and Carroll can just clean up after that.
And there we go. You're absolutely right, Brady. The backline of Carroll has been phenomenal this match. Benny Boy had multiple sleeps that isolated one, the Curie, two, then that isolated the Ramatra in ultimate, which allowed the Deadeye kill, and then three, and the Genji after he dives with the blade. Lizard's able to get a couple of key reses, keeps Mr. Spee up alive in like a 1v3. I guess it's technically a 2v3, and is able to keep Mr. Spee up in that end fight. Carroll's backline has put the team on their backs for this match.
Yeah. But I mean, Spee's able to do a ton of work there, but also just part of the reason that Spee's able to do so well is because he's got so much support from the backline. Lizard and Benny Boy went absolutely insane that map. But yeah, Carroll seems to really be firing on all cylinders. I mean, like the first fight, just trying to get used to the new Genji. I think we saw that come out, but now that they've kind of adjusted, I think Carroll's definitely in the driver's seat of this map.
Yeah, and notice how after Carroll won a team fight, Bruv's able to take up a good position and starts getting a little bit more value and is able to catch up to the Genji quite quickly in terms of ultimate. I think that's really what Carroll needs here. Carroll needs to get a team fight win so Bruv can get the kind of valuable high ground position and make the Genji come to him. Oh, Spee goes low. Big heals.
Oh my god, what an anti, and they missed the Suzu!
Crazy. Benny Boy is going nuts.
Spee's already 55% of the way to an
and Spee gets 4. Spee got 4.
Oh my god.
After Benny Boy hits that anti-nade.
That's just
Benny Boy hits the anti-nade, Spee gets 4, 57%. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Lizard's also already 100% to a Valkyrie, too.
Yep.
We had to switch to the Orisa.
And here it is. Love it. Because regardless of what you think about the composition, the swap there, Bruv takes down the Cassidy. Here it is, like this. You give Bruv his high ground, and he just gets to watch. This is no problem. Bruv got the Lizard pocket. You also have the swap over to the Ana, which means the Kiri's not going to be able to support the Genji anymore. And this, I just think, when teams start having to swap comps against Carroll, then that's when they start. Oh, Bruv's already got ult. He's going.
Yeah. Nice headshot there, and a Rampage 2 committed from Carroll.
There's another one.
And the Valkyrie came out. That does seem,
I think,
like a little bit of overcommit.
The Valkyrie was too late.
Yeah.
I don't think we needed the Valkyrie there. I don't want to what if the Rampage, but it does. I agree. I think it was a little bit of overcommitment here. What I was saying, I mean, this is another case of Carroll forcing the other team to come play their style, and every time that Carroll is able to achieve this is where Carroll really starts to thrive.
Yeah.
Genji dives onto Bruv, and Bruv's out. Lizard keeps him up, no problem. Orisa ult.
Nice.
Bruv's able to get away. Genji blade coming in.
And Spee cleans up the back line here, which is huge. That means there's going to be no more supports. That means that there are a lot of trees. And now it's just Bruv and Spee against the opposing tank for control of the map. I think that we know how this goes.
No problem.
No problem. Carroll College takes first map. That's what you get for taking Carroll College Stelios.
Watch the VODs. Watch the VODs.
Actual just trolling.
You should know better.
All right, who's your prediction for play of the game? Who's your prediction? I think it's got to be Spee, right? I mean, that
Give me Benny Boy. Give me Benny Boy. Oh, of course, I forgot the 4-piece. You're right.
Give him the 4-piece combo. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Right. Yeah, so good. Oh, this isn't even... This is a different 4-piece, I think.
I
think Spee had 2... I think he had two 4-pieces because remember you said that he missed the Suzu on the one.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Wait, Spee, it's not that serious. You're not gonna be going that hard in the finals already, I guess. Spee does not seem nervous. He seems good.
Yeah, no problem. Michigan is already asking for a 5-minute break, and so
timeout.
rattled.
Yeah, I think that's a great start from Carroll. Like,
oh yeah,
we see them lose first fight, but I think something that Brev has talked to me about before is, they kind of have a harder time with the dive compositions, especially because they like to play a little bit more space out. Like, Spee kind of likes to get a little bit more ahead of everyone and create that space. And then we also have the flank angles from Brev, and so I think dive can kind of disrupt that. And so I think the Genji rolling out kind of messes with that at the very beginning, but we see Carroll adapt to it super quickly.
Oh well. Does the Genji get like any value after that first team fight?
Not really. I mean, and at the very end there, right? Like, we see the Genji maybe pick 2 with the blade, but at that point, like, Spee has walked into your backline and taken down both supports, like your cooks. So like, yeah, you're picking off some of Carroll, but then you go down, and then it's only your tank against Spee and Brev, and no one is winning a 1v2 against Spee and Brev.
No one's winning a 1v1 against Spee with the Junker Queen because of the self-healing ability. Oh my gosh. Well, Brady, did you see our next map choice?
Oh my God, they're going to King's Row. You guys, it's like, history does repeat itself. That's what I have to say.
I guess so. Okay, here's the question. Do they choose regular or do they choose winter?
They better choose winter.
I guess we're going to see.
It's looking like regular right now, but...
I know, this is the real litmus test.
And I think, too, we talk about the big pop-offs from Spee and Brev all the time, but Constantine was also able to get some huge picks. I mean, as Aegis, the opposing tank, walked in on the well point, he was able to pick the Ramatra off with his ultimate, which meant that Spee just had so much more space to work with. Constantine was finding some big angles that put a lot of pressure on the opposing Cassidy as well. And I mean, as we talked about in the match, Lizard and Benny Boy were playing out of their minds, just huge biotic grenades, as well as some really impressive reses that helped to shift the momentum in Carroll's favor.
Listen, you're right that you see that one ultimate pick. You are not going to see Constant Rhyme in the kill feed nearly as often as you're going to see Brev. That is not a reflection of who they are or their abilities. It's a reflection of the roles that they play. Brev is getting Mercy pocketed up on high ground, designed to be taking advantage of key positioning points. Constant Rhyme is the reason that Lizard is able to get the reses off that they do. Constant Rhyme is the reason that Benny Boy gets to use his cooldowns offensively rather than trying to protect himself.
Yeah.
Like that is all Constant Rhyme, and especially when you have a good enemy Genji. You know that the enemy Genji is good. Their icon is a Genji, and they're only a level 2 endorsement, which just like screams Genji main to me. So when you have a good enemy Genji, like, you may not see Constant Rhyme in the kill feed as often, but if you don't see Benny Boy in the kill feed, then you know Constant Rhyme's doing his job.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Constant Rhyme's kind of like going to be the unsung hero, of course, like just creating space for the supports to work with and then also protecting them. Like, as a bodyguard, it's just kind of something that you don't really get appreciated for, unfortunately. I just checked. Actually, the opposing DPS Zephy is a Masters player, so that is something I'm going to be interested to see. I don't know. Like, I didn't really feel like I saw a lot of Masters gameplay out of them, so maybe they were just sandbagging. But we'll see.
They were playing with their monitors off.
Yeah, they decided to turn the monitors on for this desert map. We'll see. They do have a Widowmaker icon, so I'm wondering if we're going to see some... Oh my god. Oh boy. Are you seeing the composition that they're locking? Holy cow.
I'm seeing the composition. Here's the nice part that they're not realizing either, right? It looks like this is, this is the lineup that Michigan wants to run here. They think that this is their King's Row. It's like, it's not the most earth-shattering, but a hard lock from Thunder on the Bastion. Talk about two very similar characters, right? Genji and Bastion.
Yeah, they're making some big adjustments, it seems.
Here's what they don't know, though. Here's what they don't realize. Mr. Spee is a Sigma main. Like,
Yeah.
we've seen Mr. Spee play a lot of really excellent tank on a lot of different heroes this season, but at his heart, Spee wants to play Sigma. Someone where the orbs bounce, he gets to play on the roller and doesn't have to worry about his aim, and that matches so great into this Bastion. Spee has to be just like giggling like it's Christmas morning right now.
100%. This is a crazy rotation we're seeing right now. That
Look at this.
inspirational.
Michigan has to drop down. Bruv gets down a little bit early. I was not expecting him to drop it and stay down. Going for the Juno.
Oh, nice pick out of the Juno. That's huge from Brog. That's going to really lower the healing capacity of Western Michigan there at the backup.
It was such a clean shot. Oh my gosh. The Rhine's going low. There it is. That's a perfect stagger onto the Rhine too, because the Juno is just about to come back. If they can, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, brother's locked.
Oh.
He's so locked. You know what's crazy too is
I mean, his
Constant's at 75% ult, so Constant's have done so much damage in that fight.
Yeah. That's a nice Bastion grenade, that's for sure. That was a nice shot. I was kind of impressed by that.
You can't be saying nice things about the other team. That's not good for us.
Sorry. Here's what I love about this Sigma pick into this composition. They are so balled up. Look at the damage he is getting right now on this team.
Yeah.
Don't whiff, Spee. Come on. There we go. Oh, he doesn't whiff. He doesn't whiff.
Huge ultimate. And
Oh my
Carroll's just able
god.
to clean up. Yeah, this is looking pretty dominant.
Yeah. They're gonna stagger this Bastion into next month.
Yeah, this is gonna take a solid
Holy
like
smoke.
20 seconds off.
Oh my gosh.
You know what's really tough too is that I think
Oh.
the enemy Rhine hasn't had an Earth Shatter yet, right? Like the enemy Rhine is just at 50%. Like, am I seeing that right? Like, like I'm seeing that right? Okay, we have the switch. Oh, it's a Winston.
Here it is. You know what stage we're at? We're throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Bastion's down. There's no res available on Michigan. Wiston's gone. Like, it's the throw it at the wall and see what sticks strategy at this point.
Yeah.
Fury goes down. Come on. Oh, can he get the Fury?
No.
No. Fury's able to get away.
Sojourn
Oh,
tries
we
to
get
hero
the
play?
Sojourn instead. Bastion must be swapping because Bastion commits just. Yeah, there it is. There's the Genji.
Okay,
So we're committing to the full dive. Yeah. The thing is though, like we did an interview. We did an interview with Carroll last 2 games ago when they ran the Diva. Like Carroll doesn't care if they get forced off the high ground.
This ends now.
They welcome that rotate.
100%.
Lizard dives in, gets Mr. Speed, gets him back up to health. Constant Line goes down, which means Benny Boy's not gonna have the protection that he usually is used to.
Yeah, interestingly too, we have the ult coming out from Brub, but not able to capitalize it on much just because there's so much mobility from the opposing team right now. We have a continuation rush coming out to the backside of point. The Kiri's kind of alone. Oh, Kiri stays up.
The Nano Sigma. Lizard goes down. Kiri's low.
There's a lot of really low players.
There's like 3 teams.
Constant Rhyme from the top rolls!
Did someone forget to tell Constant Rhyme that the Deadeye's a zoning ult? That you're not actually supposed to.
You know how we were saying Constant Rhyme was gonna show up at the kill feed? Yeah, we caster cursed at that, but my glorious French King just clutched. Oh my god! Holy, what an ult!
Here's why that's so critical. So they commit the Nano, and Mr. Speed's able to do tons of damage onto most of Michigan, and Michigan gets really, really low. And so Constant Rhyme doesn't actually have to commit the Deadeye that long in order to get a couple picks. It becomes a 3v3, and Speed just gets to continue to clean up, despite their fact being like 4 ultimates on the side of Michigan.
Yeah, Lizard does go down, and it's... Oh, and the rest of Carroll's gonna go down. Oh my god, someone's gonna cap King's Row against Carroll?
Holy smokes.
Wait, we haven't seen this in a while, folks. Alright.
Well, I hope you brought your popcorn.
We are strapping in for a longer game, thank god. I mean, listen, like, I want Carroll to win, right? But, like, it's a championship match.
Yeah, it can't be a 3-0 full hold every point.
Alright, so we are seeing some swaps.
Here's the nice part. I mean, Carroll...
Yeah, not a huge swap, but...
Oh, go ahead,
the
go ahead.
Junker Queen. I think the Jungle Queen's nice because that'll be a little bit more responsive to the characters that are jumping in, like the Genji and the Winston. It'll be interesting to see how it matches up into the Tracer though. Zephy's Tracer seems to be pretty
Oh
strong.
yeah, the Winston's gonna get pulverized.
Yeah.
Zephy is the Masters player. The Genji Blade's engaged, but like no value here. Brub doesn't even have to commit ult. They aren't able to finish the Genji. Does Brub commit the ult here, do you think? Yes, here it comes.
Yeah.
Brub's got to hit these shots. He cannot waste this ultimate here. Oh, there's one. There we go.
That's a big cleanup from Carroll.
Spee hits a big axe. Brub's able to pick one as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking a little dodgy there for Carroll towards the end, but they're able to clean up that fight with Brub's big ultimate, and they're also able to then res Brub at the end of the fight. So they're able to go into a full 5, and then also the Genji goes down at the end as a big stagger.
It's huge. This is going to be last push, and it's going to be last push. They are going to have nothing but the Kitsune rush, and Carroll's going to have 4 ultimates.
Yeah. 100%. I do think that
here's the problem.
You go ahead. You go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you. So here's the big problem for Michigan right now. They commit this dive, which, you know, yeah, they needed to. Against the Sigma, it was working. Shpee gets a nice pick there. Genji is antied because Benny Boy is a goat. And there we go. That's cleaned up. Carroll should be able to, might be able to stop them from touching. They almost won that fight just a little bit too fast.
Yeah, Carroll
because now it's going to be basically a straight up fight.
Right, and it's going to be pretty neutral. I mean, we're going to have the Valkyrie, which will help. It's going to be interesting to see if Western Michigan can get these ultimates up in time. That's a huge Suzu. Oh my god. Nice pick. Or a huge anti, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, the monkey's going to be able to touch, but not for long. The thing that's interesting, right, that Michigan has to switch dive because they're trying to isolate individual players from Carroll.
Yeah.
And the second that they do, you know, they get the cap, and then Carroll just goes, okay, we'll swap back to like our dive monster machine, which includes the Junker Queen. And so you swap back to the Junker Queen, and it's like, what's Michigan supposed to do? Abandon all progress, all perks.
Yeah.
that is the perk, because Carroll keeps primarily the same core, right? Mr. Spee is the only one who flexes. And this is what we've seen all season long. The 4 stay the same, Mr. Spee flexes. The advantage to that is that as they adapt their style around Spee with the same characters, they don't lose perk progression. Which means Michigan either has to play this dive into the dive eating machine, or they swap and lose all their perk packages, all their ultimate charge, and Carroll just gets to stomp them at the corner. So yeah, I mean, they get progress from around corner, you know, they get through choking in the first corner, and then Carroll just like stuffs them there. It's just not an effective composition once you get into this later stages of the map. Not against the composition Carroll's running.
100%. We are going to see some, I think, more defensive. This is feeling like a little bit more bunkery to me from Michigan. I think especially with the Orisa and the Bastion, I think that's saying to me that like they're trying to figure out how to deal with this in a more defensive way.
What do you think of the Speed Junker Queen look?
Into this? I don't know. I think it's kind of tough, don't you? I mean, with the, it seems like he's going to be a little bit slow trying to push in. Yeah, he's going to be swapping here.
Yeah, oh, there it is. Okay, there's the swap over the Sigma.
Yeah, that's kind of what... It seems like he's still considering, though. I mean, he's still standing in front. Okay, there we go. Okay. I mean, Shpee is just going to be so happy to be playing this Sigma into this composition, right? Like, there's going to be just so much value with the eats.
Yes.
So we're gonna see Carroll kind of get a little.
Carroll goes for a rotate. It looks like he was gonna rotate around. Oh, big.
Yeah, it's looking like Carroll's pushing in here. Bruv has a huge ultimate that's able to
apologies for the weird audio.
Yeah.
Brady had some internet issues. Sorry about the weird audio confusion there, everybody. Brady was about Brady was about, I don't know, an ice age and a half behind the rest of the action. So
My bad.
we're cleaning up now. Internet's catching up. Carroll's able to make a pretty quick cap. What's going to be interesting here is how clean can Carroll get through choke and to this first corner. Fortunately, Carroll's got 3 minutes more than Michigan had at this point, and Spi's ultimate is going to be devastating for this bunker-style composition at the corner.
100%. I think honestly what happened is that Carroll's gameplay was just so good that it crashed my internet. Like my internet's router just couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? So like in this fight, I think it's gonna be a little bit tough for Carroll just because.
That's right. Yeah.
You're pushing into a Kitsune as well as a.
Yeah, so the dangerous part that Carroll has now at this point, while Brady sorts out some internet issues, everybody, Michigan now, because of the Kitsune, was able to establish and hold that choke. And so Carroll, lost out on the Sigma ultimate, but here comes the Nano in onto the Sigma, able to stop the Deadeye. Zephy's not able to get any value out of the Deadeye. Mr. Speed's just gonna press W, and Brooke gets 3! Oh my gosh! Okay, there it is. I mean, it didn't turn out to be true on Ilios, but we said at the beginning of the map, we were talking about the importance of Bruv and his ability to hit shots. Is because of his ability to turn team fights with one single ultimate by himself, able to take care of it. The Juno's out, which means they're not going to have the speed boost to get back. Carroll's going to be able to hold the forward position, and it's going to be very difficult for Michigan to even touch, let alone get a clean, good team fight out of this.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to touch. I mean, just a huge eat here and create a ton of space. Not able to touch.
There it is. Not able to touch. Let's go.
I mean, that's just a great showing from Carroll. They do let up first point, which is honestly kind of generous of them, if you want my honest opinion.
It's real generous.
Yeah, and Bruv gets to play the game here. This is probably going to be that overclock that gets 3 picks, I would imagine. Oh, no, it's not. It's at the end of the first point.
No, different one.
Oh my god!
That's another triple kill with the overclock. There's just too many to keep track of.
Yeah, I mean, it just happens when Carroll's this good that it's just keep being like, oh, they must have been this 4K. Oh, wait, no, it was their other 4K. Whoops,
Right.
Yeah.
Chunder is getting swapped off.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Chunder is getting swapped out for Deity.
Okay. Their account is private. We don't have any info on this person.
Boo. Cowards. Show yourselves.
Also, people in chat who are talking about the internet quality, just want to say, my internet provider, they're trying their best right now. So apologies for any video glitches or audio glitches, but it seems to be going smoother now.
We've got a 5-minute break called from Michigan again. They need to settle down or quit drinking so much water or something. We are going to take a quick 2-minute break, and then we will be right back once we have an idea on the map, and we're back from our break. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready for our third map. Brady and I were talking a lot about this before. Flashpoint has largely been Carroll's least consistent map or style. It's not even, I mean, I don't think they've lost a Flashpoint yet, but there have been a couple of, like, we've gone to 5th point. It's just looked a little bit scrappier.
Yeah.
The fights are scrappier. And so as a result, like, Carroll's not getting the full advantage of the team fights that they typically do. You also are dealing with the fact that, like, Carroll also is the ultimate timings get weird, which Carroll already is, like, that's their weak spot. So it just gets a little bit goofy. Gonna be interesting to see, but it's never caused so much of a problem that Carroll's lost a point, for example.
Yeah, I do think it'll be interesting too to see how Michigan adapts to this. I think we saw them bring out a dive the dive on the first point of Kings Row, and I think that seemed to have a little bit more success. So I'm curious if they're going to try and run a dive on Flashpoint, which is going to be a faster team composition on a faster map, which I think Carroll might have a little bit of a harder time with. We also do have a substitution. We're bringing in Deity for the Genji players, and they have a Tracer icon, Deity does. So I think we're probably going to see a little bit more Tracer gameplay from them, if I had to guess. So I do think we're going to see more of a dive composition coming out.
Yeah, Tracer is their most played hero in this most recent competitive season. So you are correct. Here's what's interesting, though. Zeffy ran the Tracer on Kings Row, like your Masters player. So they may run Tracer, but it doesn't signal to me that they're going to full commit the dive. Unless Zeffy has another hero pick, like, if the Deity really is so good that they want him on Tracer, but, like, why are you not running Deity with the Genji? I just don't think they're going to commit to the dive to the same extent that they need to.
Yeah.
I guess a Reaper.
Whoa, the Reaper.
Yeah.
Mr. Speed is a problem.
That's honestly, you're right. That's what that's signaling.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what we're getting the signal here, and we're seeing just the standard from Carroll. I mean, the unbeatable.
Yeah. And that's actually the thing about New Junk City is I think New Junk City sets up really well for Junker Queen.
Yeah.
And, like, that's why you see Zeffy on the Reaper, because they know that this is what Spee is going to be running down.
Yeah, it's interesting too because they're going to bring the Ramatra with it, so I don't think it's going to be nearly as divey as I had originally thought. It's going to be more of like this hybrid composition where they can kind of poke. Oh, but bruv. Okay, bruv. Okay. Bruv said, "Hey, welcome to the lobby. You are getting cooked." Should have stayed on the bench, bro. Holy.
At least that way, Deity could have been like, yeah, if they'd have put me in, we would have won, kids. And instead, now it's like, Dad, tell us about the time that you played in the Overwatch Finals. And he's just going to, like, start shaking because he's going to remember getting headshot by Bruv after a blink.
His kids are going to clip it and be like, Dad, remember that time you got bodied 2 seconds into a match?
Dad, I heard you played against the great Bruv once. Can you get an autograph for me?
Yeah, Bruv pops off that first fight. Already 80% of the way to an overclock, which is pretty insane to see.
Gosh. So there it is. There's the value out of the Reaper, right? That they were hoping to get. And then without Mr. Speed, Zeffy's just going to kind of go uncontested and really get to just push around Carroll's line, able to take out Lizard, Benny Boy, and that's Carroll's back line. It comes back, though, to the fact that Zeffy is designed to be matching up against Mr. Spee, trying to deal with that damage output.
Yeah, Spee got bursted down there super fast in that fight. I think Zeffy was able to get a bunch of shots in. And I also just want to say that Bruv did abandon Lizard in that team fight, slid down to point, and then left Lizard to die to Zeffy. Not very cool, Bruv, to have been in your pocket.
Not cash money.
No.
If they can, you do not want Bruv going down here, especially with the overclock.
Yeah, so we have the overclock coming out.
Yep, here it is.
Oh, but he gets burned down.
The combination of the Ramatra ultimate and Zeffy, able to take care of it. Zeffy's the Masters player, right? Like this, he is going to be a problem for this point, for this map.
Yeah, we're seeing the adjustments kind of coming out. I think Zephy's Reaper's getting a ton of value, and it also is nice because Deity's able to kind of finish up on that big burst damage that Zephy's able to put out.
Yep.
That being said, Carroll's going to be able to get back into this point with 4 ultimates. That being said, there are also 4 ultimates from Michigan.
You think they commit to this, or like, you commit ults into this?
I don't know if they're going to be able to touch.
Bruv's going to be able to touch.
Okay.
Bruv takes kind of a rat route underneath and is able to touch. That is only with the nano. That's the only ultimate they have to commit into this fight.
That is actually crazy play. I mean, yeah, just the nano, and then they're able to save 3 ultimates for this next fight. It's just the tracer on point.
Huge.
So Carroll's gonna be able to flip it back over. They're gonna be taking up from 75%. I'm not sure that Michigan's gonna be able to get a solid contest here.
Do you think Michigan's gonna try? It looks like, yeah. So Zephy's gonna take the same route that Bruv did.
Yeah.
They've got to be careful because Zephy does have his ultimate here. Here he comes. Zephy's about to hit ultimate. Bruv has to be tracking this, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I think it's Kitsune Rush, but Launcher with some big shots.
The Kitsune Rush comes, and the Kitsune Rush comes after 2 ultimates are already committed and both players are down. Like, it's 5v3 at that point. And the Judo Ray?
The Judo Ray is committed there to try to save Aegis, but it's just too little too late. Like, Aegis was so low that she was able to burst them down. That was looking a little dicey. It got pretty scrappy, but Carroll's able to pull it out and secure the first point.
And does so by saving 2 ultimates. Bruv's going to be up on their neck, on their ultimate as well. And Aegis is the only one. Aegis and a pulse bomb, I guess. But Carroll's going to get 3 ultimates before anyone in Michigan gets theirs, because Michigan just wasted ultimates on that last fight.
Yeah, I'm not sure the ult from Zephy is really all that good. Like, I mean, it's just so televised, right?
No.
Like, you're coming on a point at the very end. Like, it's just classic Reaper behavior. Deity just managed to pick up Benny Boy, though.
Yeah, Deity, he's decent on the sticks with the tracer.
Really late
but again,
what?
Yes, what is going on? Like, this is what we usually give Carroll a hard time for, but now Pulse Bomb's going to be the only ultimate that Michigan has, and if Deity whiffs on this Pulse Bomb, or Lizard's able to get a res, even if Deity does connect, like, Carroll's going to be able to engage both Bruv and Shpee's ultimate, and should be able to flip the point fairly quick here.
Yeah, and Bruv is going to have that perk where the overclock is going to charge right clicks up to 150, which means with the damage boost, he's going to be able to one-shot basically every squishy on the enemy team. Here comes the flank.
Yeah, here he comes. Gotta hit one of these shots. Constant Rhyme goes down.
Bunch of damage onto
Bruv
AJ.
has to get a pick.
Huge rampage after the Suzu. This is a really scrappy fight once again. Spee is able to pick 2. Zephy has been able to pick off Benny Boy again, though, and is now fighting.
Zephy's and Benny.
Okay, bro. Bruv is able to pick off Zephy.
Twice. Yeah, that's twice tonight that Bruv just, like, stuffs his barrel in the opponent DPS's face when he's getting dove and just, like, takes their head clean off.
100%. Just a really nice fight from Cal. I think, you know, it was looking a little dodgy there because Bruv's shots were kind of just going into Aegis for a really long time. But that pressure meant that Cerebus had to teleport in and then Suzu Aegis, which leaves it wide open for Speed's Rampage. He's able to get so much more value, able to pick off 3 with that. And Zephy does go kind of crazy in the back line, but it's just ultimately so much value. Zephy goes down again with the anti and the nano. Huge plays. 3 for Speed. 3 for Speed. Give him 4. Give him 4. Aegis is toast. Pack it up. The sleep?
Yep, there it is.
Benny Boy, there's no need to be sleeping him right there.
That was so disrespectful.
That's BM. That's just that's crazy.
Look again at the ultimate. Zephy's the only one with ultimate. The only one who's probably going to have ultimate in time for this contest. The supports are going to have to hurry if they want it, and it's they have
another sleep. Okay, Benny Boy.
So disrespectful. Zephy's the only ultimate they had on board to kind of engage this fight, which means they're going to fight this fight 5v3.
That Rampage is like, it's not bad.
Terrible.
You know, but
terrible.
It's not great.
But it's all right.
You're already up so many. I'm
But
not
it's
sure
okay.
you need it. But I think you're going to the next point with Bruv and Lizard's ultimate. That being said, you are now staring down the barrel of 4 ultimates from the enemy team. I think Michigan has to be super careful how they use these ultimates in this fight if they want to win. And I don't want them to, so I want them to use their ults poorly.
Well, that's what I was about to say is like Carroll should go into this fight and pretend it's a neutral fight. Like get Michigan, lose this team fight, but make sure Michigan commits 3 ultimates to do it. You will then have Bruv, you're gonna have Lizard, and you're gonna have Benny Boy all for next fight, and you're gonna have the upper hand. And Carroll's just been better at cycling ultimates this match. So I think you try and bait out some of these ultimates, don't commit your own in this fight.
Yeah, Spee just walks up on him. Absolutely insane play. And now they're on point fighting. I'm not sure how they're going to push into this. Huge shot onto Zeffy.
Well, Brub's just going to dome some people.
Yeah, Aegis just managed to pick off Constant Rhyme. It's still ulting on point. This ult has been going on for quite a while now. Able to get a lot of damage out. Lizard is Valkyrie to sort of counter it, but that is also keeping the team alive. Benny Boy goes down. Brub goes down.
See, man. I don't love the commits of both Bruv and Lizard's ults here because Lizard's ult feeds Aegis's.
Yeah.
And so it keeps it going. And so they only have to commit the Kiri, the Kitsune rush, and then Aegis's ult, but you commit both the Valkyrie and the Bruv overclock.
Yeah.
And so now you're gonna have Spee, but it's again like Carroll's behind the 8 ball now on ultimate cycling.
Spee also staggered there, so now they're gonna be taking up a lot more progress. I mean, Spee goes down when they're about. Oh, Zeffy trolling? Not really sure what that was. Are we sure that Zeffy's a Masters player? We have Carroll now pushing in. It's going to be a nano boosted Sojourn pushing in, met by a Juno Ray. So there's gonna be a lot of healing. They also get the stick onto Benny Boy.
Gosh, Bruv.
Yeah, what a shot from Bruv. Going trade for trade right now. It's a pretty scrappy fight on point, but Spee seems to be coming out on top. Yeah, if Spee, Bruv, and Lizard are able to combine there for a huge win. Zeffy does pick Bruv at the end of the fight, but also goes down, and Lizard's able to rest, so it's not a huge deal there. I think that's a really interesting. I think Zeffy just goes out too far at the beginning, though.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case. What you're going to really need to see here now, you've got the Zeffy ultimate. He's not gotten any value from any Death Blossom at this point. Bruv is going to be up next on his ultimate. Carroll is still a little bit behind on ultimate charge and cycling, but is in great shape because they've evened up this point now. Oh, but Spee goes down way too early.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Bruv commit the ult here. Oh my gosh.
You like summoned it. Zeffy picks 1. Oh, huge pick. 2 huge picks. Wait. If Carroll wins this, they're 16% from winning the whole thing. Okay. Aegis has to pop ult.
Yeah. And Spee goes like, why is Spee on the wrecking ball right now?
I understand that you want to win the championship, but I think it's okay if you give up this point. Yeah, there's 2 picks there. Spee doesn't manage to pick up the Juno, but it looks like they're going to get the cap on this point, so we are going to go to a 0.4 on this Flashpoint map. Yeah, I think the switch to the Wrecking Ball just has to be for the fact that they really wanted to contest that point, right? Because if they win that point, they just win the whole tournament, and they're the PlayFly Overwatch champions, like national champions. So I mean, like maybe you go for that fight just to win it. You're also up 2 maps, but Spee seems to be sticking the Wrecking Ball right now. I'm just not sure how much value this is going to get against the opposing team's composition. All right, we're seeing Spee go for a slam here. This is a more neutral fight. That being said, there is going to be a Kitsune and a Pulse Bomb being matched by Lizard's Valkyrie. Benny Boy is also going to have a nano coming out. So we have the Kitsune coming out quick. Aegis is going kind of low, but that's a big Pulse Bomb onto Lizard. Bruv is nano right now, able to pick 2 huge picks and a huge anti from Benny Boy. Oh my god, what a play. They're able to clean up the team. I think Zeffy is still fighting on point, but it should just be a cleanup for Carroll here. It's Zeffy versus Benny Boy, and Constant Rhyme left. We're gonna have a quick pause, folks. Maybe Constant Rhyme's internet is not working as well as mine either. I wonder what happened to Constant Rhyme. We're gonna be taking a quick pause. Oh, he crashed. Oh no. We have a crash, everyone. This is the first time the crash has happened. So I think standard procedure is just to pause and then have Constant Rhyme rejoin the game. It seems like that's what's happening. Okay, Constant Rhyme is back in the lobby. That's good. That's tough to have that happen for the first time in a championship match, especially when this map has been so back and forth. I mean, Carroll is up 2-1 right now, but both times that they've won, it's been so that Carroll has been like pretty close. It's been like 99-0. Benny Boy gets to sleep on his F and he's able to clean up that kill. Benny Boy clutches that fight pretty decidedly, but that being said, a lot of the opposing team is now back. Benny Boy is going to be fighting against 4, and it's Benny Boy and Lizard. What's interesting too is that the point is still ticking up for Michigan, so Michigan is able to get a lot of value right now. We have a full team fight. Spee has switched to the D.Va, and we have an anti onto Aegis. I think they're going to look to burn down Aegis here pretty quick, but they managed to keep him alive. Really weird off angle there by the Kiriko, but we have the Aegis popping off the counter. Carroll is so close to flipping this point. If they get off for a second, Carroll manages to flip, but that being said, it looks like there's going to be a lot of cleanup here by Michigan. It's a really scrappy fight once again. Spee is down below, and I think Spee needs to get out pretty quick here. Yeah, Spee's able to run away. Spee needs to quit trolling and kind of back up a little bit. Zeffy doesn't push that, which is good. But Michigan is now at about 85% and looking to cap this point. Carroll's gonna have to come into this and touch quickly without any ultimates, and that's going to be met by Juno. Oh my gosh, what a pick by Bruv. Bruv finds this crazy off angle and manages to get a ton of damage in. The Kiriko is also super low. Zeffy does pop ult, manages to get 2, and there's also the Juno Ray. I think that might be enough to have Michigan push this point over. Constant Rhyme goes down, Mr. Spee is ejected. Benny Boy's still on backside of point, but I just don't think that that's going to make a huge difference. Michigan's going to be able to take this second point, so we are going to a 5th point in Flashpoint. We have seen this happen before. This is going to be an intense point, though. I think Carroll is making some adjustments. The switch to the Wrecking Ball, I'm still not crazy about. We do have Bruv also switching to the Genji. Interesting. I think they're going in more of a dive composition into this final point. We'll have to see how this subs out. Yeah, I think the switch to the Genji is really interesting. I feel like the Sojourn and Junker Queen were working pretty well. I mean, the first few points were close, but we're gonna see Carroll switch it up here. I bet they're talking about, you know, sort of the adjustments they need to make. I think they're thinking that Zeffy's getting a lot of value. We've talked with Spee before about how he likes to play D.Va into the Reaper to get that value. Constant gets a very big pick onto the Tracer. That's gonna put a lot less pressure and a huge sleep out of Aegis. Benny Boy has been so good with the sleeps this game. Another big pick by Constant Rhyme. Bruv also manages to get a pick. It looks like Carroll's going to take the first part of this point, and they also are saving 4 ultimates right now. And Bruv is halfway already to a Blade. They're going to be met by an ultimate from Aegis, as well as a Pulse Bomb and potentially a Death Blossom. That was the first time that we saw a Death Blossom from Zeffy actually get any damage. So I guess that's good improvement. We'll have to see also how much value Mr. Spee can get out of this D.Va buff. Usually it's sort of just an option to remech. We'll have to see if he kind of chooses to stick with that more defensive option or go with an offensive option.
For sure. I think here's the thing that's really interesting to me about Carroll's choice to stick this dive is that Carroll, oh geez, the nano onto the D.Va could be huge here. He's able to charge, Mr. Spee's able to completely separate out the entire Michigan team. Zeffy is isolated without any supports. Mr. Spee's able to get an early pick. The chase onto the Juno should be enough. Either way, they're going to back off. I don't know if Michigan's going to be able to get a clean fight. This could be the national championship on line right here for Carroll.
Yeah, and I was kind of doubting these switches originally, but they're actually looking super strong from Carroll. I mean, we're already at 90%, and most of these teams fights have been pretty solid wins. We had the D.Va Mac coming out, trying to prevent a touch. And then Zeffy's not coming in. That's a pick.
Zeffy goes down.
Yeah, Zeffy goes down, saving ult potentially for map 4, even though there won't be a map 4 if they keep this up. Mr. Spee almost moves off Deity. That would have been pretty funny. But Carroll is looking like they just need to take down 2 more people. They just need to take down the Juno and Ramatra. That's going to be the tournament championship for them. The Juno is just hanging out for the last second. Yeah, Carroll.
And Carroll College
owes the national championship. Let's go, Carroll College! 3-0'd in the national champions. Come on. I mean, what? That's like just such dominant performance. I think we saw Carroll maybe lose like 2 maps the entire season, if that, maybe 1. And Carroll, I mean, otherwise has just swept every single opponent.
Yeah, I mean, this one definitely was the closest of them, but like,
yeah.
And it's, I think we got to see a whole nother level of Carroll today because so many games Carroll has been able to just like force their will upon other teams. And tonight, Carroll had to make swaps. Carroll had to adapt. And in doing so, I think Carroll showed us the depth of their team, the depth of the teamwork that they have. And as a result, are able to really show us and give us an amazing, amazing performance. And Carroll takes home their first national championship.
Yeah, and I mean, it's pretty exciting too, like to end with a map that was just so back and forth. I mean, we saw the first two Flashpoint maps are pretty contested. I think the first one was 99 to 100, and then the second one was like, again, pretty close to 99 to 100. And then we saw that Northern Michigan started to, I think, mount a pretty solid offense that Carroll was kind of having a hard time dealing with in their composition. And we saw some really great switches. I mean, the Diva switch really ended up helping Carroll, as well as the Genji switch. So yeah, I mean, just some really great gameplay from Carroll. We even saw them like switch off their bread and butter, and still perform super well and adapt to what their opponents were doing.
Yep, it was a great performance. It was it was a fantastic game, and Carroll has to just be over the moon with how strong they played. And I mean, it just didn't matter. It didn't matter what opponents threw at them. It didn't matter what I was about to say. I was about to say it didn't matter which maps Carroll went to, but it's because Carroll didn't have to switch any maps ever, and so it's just such a phenomenal performance from Carroll, and I mean, I can't even imagine the vibes right now in their game room and how that must feel.
Yeah, it's got to be absolutely just. I'm sure they were so happy. I mean, I definitely think that, like, middle Flashpoint, they're starting to get a little bit nervous, but then as soon as they get those switches and we have that big play coming out at the end, it's just going to be like. The vibes must have been so immaculate, especially in that last point when you win that fight, you take out Zephy before Zephy is able to ult. I think that's just a huge difference maker. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and have an interview with Mr. Spee, the captain, and also congratulate him on winning his championship in his final year as a senior. So don't leave. We will be right back with an interview with Mr. Spee. Welcome back, everyone. We have none other than the captain himself, Mr. Steven Spee. How are you feeling after your win tonight?
Dude, just like there's so many words, so many emotions, just like going through my head. Excited, energetic, excited. Like, dude, we fucking won, bro. Like, this is crazy, man. This is crazy.
What was preparation for tonight like, and how did it differ from other games that you've played this season?
The emphasis for tonight was it was just a lot of just preparing for the DPS. Think of it like our preparation for the Larks, how we're focusing on nullifying the DPS, nullifying the impact that they can make, while also keeping a good balance in the front line. We knew going into this match that they had a Masters Hitscan player, and we knew that we had to be ready for that. And we knew that the other DPS was going to be playing flankers, Genji, Tracer, Sabra, whatever. We knew that was going to happen. So we were ready for that, and we designed our team comp just to deny the enemy DPS just any sort of value that they can get, pretty much.
100%. So that was the first time that we've actually seen an opposing team capture the point on King's Row in a while. So it was kind of exciting at the booth. You know, we got a little bit more gameplay. But when they switched to the dive composition on King's Row, that's kind of where it felt like the momentum shifted a little bit in their favor on the attack. So what did your comm sound like when you saw the dive composition come out? And it seemed like the response was really effective. So like, had you guys prepared for that kind of a response?
To be honest, no. Like, kind of when you play King's Row, right? You don't expect people to like whip out dive on King's Row, right?
Yeah, you don't.
Because it's King's Row. It's the Reinhardt map. But like going into like when they swapped, it was just like, oh, they're playing dive on King's Row. Okay, let's just lock in a brawly type of character comp. You know, we already have Cass, we already have Sojourn, so why should I stay Sig? I could play Sig into that, but like, it's just way better to play Queen, just because their Winston just has nowhere to go. He can't avoid me. If he goes up on Defender's ult spawn on Streets phase or on the high ground next to it, okay, so what? Who cares? I'll just knife you down, or I'll ignore you, let you jump my backline, and I'm just gonna jump your backline, and then trade backlines pretty much. And that's like the most effective way to do it, pretty much.
When you get to Flashpoint, you make the decision to swap to the ball.
Yeah.
It's very clearly to get back for that team fight. What was going through your mind? Because that's when we kind of see the swaps come through. I'll be honest, I was a little bit surprised because I felt like, I mean, you made it to 2.99 points with your composition. So what made you make the decision to commit to the swap, go to the Diva Genji instead of just sticking with your composition that you'd been running for the beginning of that map?
Well, the ball swap was only just a touch. That was it.
Right.
I assumed that like, okay, it was a scrappy fight. It was 2v2, and I'm like, okay, I swapped the ball, I'll get grapple, I'll be able to touch quick enough, and maybe if I'm there, we can swing the fight in our favor. Didn't work out. Okay, whatever. So the next swapping the Diva and Genji was kind of a necessity. We were feeling like we weren't getting anything done on Sojourn. Sure, we were getting like some pressure, but the picks just weren't consistent enough, and we needed something sort of like match fast engage that the enemy team is sort of doing, and our best way was just kind of going Genji. If we can go Genji, and sort of mirror their speed with Genji's eliminations, any damage kind of, but like it's immersive pocket to Genji, so we're able to get those eliminations quick. We're able to get those resets, and hopefully snowball the fight better in our favor than with Sojourn. And in me swapping the Diva, I was getting popped. Like I was going like 100-0 on Queen. I was like, okay, my HP is just kind of gone. And I was just like, okay, I don't know who to go. I can't go Sig. Sig's not going to work into this. So I'm like, okay, I think Diva's just the play. And Diva was the play. I should have swapped the Diva earlier, and it worked. Honestly, having the level 2 defense matrix perk actually saved me, like unironically. So I'm actually glad the Diva swap was actually able to work. Helped me survive against Reaper, gave me a better peel to help Benny Boy against both Tracer and Reaper as well. So worked out in the end.
Yeah, it worked out super well. So you've been coaching these players all year. You've seen them kind of grow and develop as Overwatch players. If you had to give out in your official capacity as captain, the most improved player award to somebody on the team, who would you give it to? You can't give it to yourself, by the way. Like that's just not fair, you know. So.
Oh, you already know my first option is gonna be B. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean that's tough. Everyone improved.
Yeah.
There's like nobody slacked off. Nobody was better than the other. Everybody rose to the occasion. Everyone, I felt like, you know, like a dad watching his kids grow up and be like, damn, I'm really proud of my kids. They've grown into really great people, really great Overwatch players. So it's really hard to just like designate like one person, because it's like you can't. Like everyone performed, everyone evolved, everyone played well. It was amazing seeing everyone just like grow from terrible low silver players to mid high plat low diamond players. Like, dude, like I can't designate one person for that.
Sure.
Everyone deserves the honor of being the most improved. Everyone deserves it. There is no one person that deserves this. I give it to the entire team, honestly.
I give it to Benny Boy. He's no longer a life weaver one trick. I think that's a character improvement of the highest degree.
Steven, last question here.
Mhm.
This is your senior year.
Yeah.
This is your last game with Carroll
sir.
Overwatch. You get to leave parting words now with the
Oh.
program, the school, the team. What do you have to say? What do you want to leave everybody with to end the season?
Oh boy, I'm really bad at this type of stuff. What do I say? What do I say? I mean, I guess I could just say thank you. Like, thank you to everyone for supporting us, making not only like these 4 years here at Carroll, but also these 4 years being on the Overwatch team, coaching it, making it improve, making it better than how it was when I first came. Just thank you. Like, none of this would have ever happened if it wasn't for the support of everyone else prior. Thanks to Brady, thanks to Ethan, thanks to James, thanks to all the old esports members who made the club what it is now. And all I did, I just took the club and I just helped grow it more like a tree. That's all I could say. All I could say, thank you again. I love all of you guys. You guys made this senior year my best year so far. I love all of you. Love you guys. Thank you.
I feel like we got to do like 5 big booms like one last time, you know? And then I want you to get everyone over there, and I want you to get them all to say "Go Saints."
Yeah, come in, guys. Come in. Big
But
boom.
first-
5 big booms.
Am I doing the 5 big booms, or are you guys?
I don't know.
I'll give you 5 big booms. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Boom!
Wait.
Boom! 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 Okay. I need you guys to say "Go Saints" so that they can hear you down in Butte. Okay?
All right, on 3. Ready? 1, 2,